Ay, 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 I just wanna have fun. Come and pick me up, meet me at the spot. Up all night till the sunrise. Pop back cool, get ready for the ride. Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Holy moly, guacamole in my pockets. What a blessing. Got it on me, I got options. Real stepper, check the shoes, get it poppin'. Eating good, feeling good. Where my hopping done at? Put it on a plate with some lemonade. That's the way we did it in the old days. Back then, mama said, get up, walk up, play. But you better not come home like this. Street life, we was young, racing. Street life, carefree was the best time. Fast forward days, dreaming about the next time. When it's gonna happen again, cause I just wanna have fun. Come and pick me up, meet me at the spot. Up all night till the sunrise. Pop back cool, get ready for the ride. Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? How you feel? Turn it up a notch, pop up clean room. Everyday celebration, take a trip vacation. You deserve a day, you deserve a day off. Working for too long, gotta kick back. Turn my cell phone off, wait till I get back. Ooh, yeah, I did that. Living my life with no regrets. So I title, link up, pull up on me. Where we at? We just chillin', where we at the spot. What time? Anytime, link up, pull up on me. Where we at? We just coolin', the chill spot. What time? Party time. I just wanna have fun. Come and pick me up, meet me at the spot. Up all night till the sunrise. Pop back cool, get ready for the ride. Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Don't it feel?
Ba 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 ba. Oh, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to All Rise and Shine. I hope you got your
Cup of coffee in the big time, yeah. Cup of coffee in the big time.
because I got mine. Oh no, I'm lying. I don't have mine. I already drank mine today. I started early.
Oh, he started early this morning.
France, I'm a busy guy nowadays.
Oh,
You know what I'm
he's
saying?
busy, damn it.
I'm a busy guy. All right. When you think of Pete, just think busy. That's it.
I mean, somebody's
right.
got to be busy. The Yankees sure as shit on him.
Okay. Look, our off season are always better than the. It typically is. I think they had us in 2020, 2024. I think they beat us then. That's fair.
They sure as shit got us.
They got us then. This
got
year
us.
so far, we're well advanced. I mean, we are no doubt about it.
23
beating
into
them all.
24.
See.
Yeah, they got us.
Yeah, because last year we won.
Yeah.
I mean, just because it's us at the end of the day. But we got Yoda. Yoda in the chat. Nice. Nice. I like that we have Yoda. That's pretty interesting. Yoda is in the chat today. Very interesting. So, Aguila, first team to qualify for the round robin. Will your team qualify? Says your best friend, Alex Valerio, our good friend here.
Yeah.
Francis, you are on the clock.
My team will qualify. We're in third place currently after a phenomenal showing last night. Great game. Beautiful, classic Dominican winter ball game. 1-0 score. Bases loaded in the ninth.
You mentioned former Yankee great Albert Abreu made
Yes,
his
sir.
little appearance there. Okay, former
Yes,
Yankee
sir.
legend.
Look at that. Yoda saying what's up. I love it. I love it. Huge
Unbelievable
Yoda fan.
Yoda's here. I mean, look, when Yoda comes to the U, you know
Yeah.
we got the force with us.
I do want to say something because obviously you gotta see the hat. I'm a Licey fan, so
Okay.
it's in my DNA. I gotta throw shots. It is what it is.
Oh my God, he's gonna do it.
But I gotta be honest, also, right? What we are witnessing, right? Those of you who follow Dominican winter ball this season with the Aguilas has been really impressive. Nothing short of impressive. You just look at the team that they put together, the brand of baseball that they've been playing this winter. A lot of credit to our guy, friend of the U, Carlos Gomez, who's been, very involved with.
Fan of designated spitters, by the way.
Yes, yes, and I mean, look, bro, it's not becoming of a Licey fan to give too much flowers to the Águilas, and I've been throwing my shots, live on air pretty much every week, but you guys know me, I'm a realist too, and good baseball is good baseball. So I do want to make sure it's out there also that I'm not stupid, I'm not blind. I do see what's happening with the Águilas this season, and dude, they're playing great base. They look really good. They look really sound, and unfortunately, those don't feel like adjectives I'm going to be using with the Yankees in 2026. So I'm going to use them right now while I can, even if it's for a team that I don't like.
I tell you what, guys, I'll be honest with you. I mean, unless Francis has some different topics, we probably have one topic that I just want to kind of, run by real quick. There's not a lot of Yankee news out there, as everybody already knows. And then really, you guys have absolutely loaded us up once again with voicemails. Still got time to drop a voicemail, 804-592-6160. The number is literally right there on your screen. It's always on the bottom. So if you ever wanted to call in, it's always right there. But we really got, one.
Oh, I got to shout somebody out too.
Oh, he's going to shout him out. Go right ahead.
One sec before we get into it, right? I got to shout out
before we get into it,
a fan for years of NYY Underground. I didn't get his full name, but I know his last name is Diaz, and he's a fan of the U for a very long time. And actually found out, no, not Yandy. Yandy Diaz found out this morning that he actually does security in my wife's building where she works. So yeah, random. My wife hits me. She's like, yeah, like it's a fan. He's one of the fans of the thing, whatever. She FaceTimes me. I met the guy, beautiful guy, person. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, listen, bro, I appreciate you. Sub to the U, big fan of the U. He's like, I watch all the time. Love you guys. Keep up the good work. So I just want to shout out my guy Diaz, man. That's how you know, man. The U is freaking everywhere. The U is literally protecting my wife.
So proud, man. It makes me so proud, man. Nobody even knows how happy I am day in and day out with NYU, what we're building. Christian gave a little hint to everybody. Thursday this week, tune in to NYYST because they do have a big announcement to make. I'm going to keep throwing it out there all week because I want them to have their biggest episode of all time because everybody has to tune in to hear the news of what's happening there. And I think you guys are going to be really, really excited about it. And hell, before opening day next year, next year. Yeah, it is next year. Before opening day next year.
Yeah.
I feel like it's already 2026. We might have some more big announcements coming. So let me tell you something. And I said I'm busy. I ain't playing. There's a lot of work being put on here at the U. Michael says, I don't know why I said, good morning, Pete and Francis. I kind of just, what is it? I glitched right there. Michael said, okay.
It happens.
It happens. What are you going to do? Let's get right into it, man. Let's get right into it. There's some rumors out there. Francis, by the way, started this. So if anybody's a really big fan of Francis, do not like Francis. It's his fault. He started, Francis started this whole conversation. About the possibility of the Yankees moving Jazz. And here's what I want to do, Francis. I want to make this very simple for everybody, right? I don't think anybody is sitting here cheerleading for the Yankees to just get rid of Jazz and not replace nothing. Just be like, well, let's just trade Jazz. And it's like, okay, yeah, but what are you doing to replace Jazz? Like, because first of all, let's start on the reasons potentially why. That is beautiful, folks. By the way, more coming in January. I got a lot more coming in January, so wait for that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say this first and foremost, the reasons of why it could happen, why it could even be a possibility, right? I think the glaring one, the big lights that blink in your face is that he's going to be a free agent. Is that fair to say?
In a year, yes.
In a year,
this is the last season of Control. Yep.
It's the last year of Control. And I don't know what it is, and you could correct me if I'm wrong on this, but the one thing about Jazz that I think is fair to say is that I feel like he may overvalue himself. And again, believing in yourself and putting yourself at a standard, there's nothing wrong with that. So let me just make sure that's clarified here. There's nothing wrong with thinking you deserve what you believe you're worth. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Not at all.
We know how the Yankees currently operate. I personally feel like Jazz is going to overvalue himself and the Yankees going to be like, yeah, we ain't going that high. And this back and forth could become a mess.
I think that the groundwork for said mess has already begun to be laid this offseason. If you guys want to read the tea leaves, for those of you guys who didn't hear when I first brought this up way back when,
You did,
I
that's
think
right.
the thing that I brought up was it was before Cashman spoke, right?
It was. Yeah, it was.
And I was just like, I don't feel like he just doesn't give me the vibe of a guy that the Yankees can ink long term because of what Pete's saying, right? He's going to overvalue himself and he may price himself out of it. And I think where I was at with it way back then was I was like, I mean, if they were going to extend him, we should have heard something. There should have been talks throughout the year. This guy was saying it throughout the year, like, I want to be here, I want to play here. He said it several times.
Yeah.
And Pete, to your credit, you mentioned it in the post game season, like there goes Jazz again, saying he wants to be here, and so this is not something that was ignored. We caught it, so we know they caught it. And then Brian Cashman spoke, and then to me that like sealed it because he made a comment that there had been a conversation where they touched base, but that there was nothing imminent. And basically, what that tells me, right, reading those tea leaves, is whatever number his agent came in with initially was a non-starter for the it was a nah from the Yankees. It was a huh? How much? How many? Okay, nah, we good. And I think I don't know if the thought right there, if that seed was planted in that moment, but if the Yankees are smart, right, and if Cashman is half the GM that the people say he is, right there in that moment, there should have been serious conversations of, look, are we going to let this guy walk for nothing? After this season, we know we're not trading him at the deadline. That's probably not the team that we are, right? So we know that's probably not a deal that we'll do at the deadline because that. And then think about it: for you to trade that Jazz at the deadline, what's that going to mean for the team in 2020?
Things have had to go very, very poorly for the club, no doubt about it.
And not only that, but they would have to admit it. Which,
correct.
Again, our credit. We say this all the time. It's one of the most difficult things for them to do. It seems like admit defeat, hit the eject button, do things like that. Now, I'm not saying I want to go through a rebuild or anything like that. That's not me. I feel like when you make the amount of money that a team like the New York Yankees does, you should be able to rebuild on the fly. If Brian Cashman is the GM that many say that he is, and that even us, I think, in all fairness, we believe that he's at the very least good enough to rebuild on the fly and put together, contender after contender, then you shouldn't have to go through a full rebuild. That being said, dude, with Jazz Chisholm, it just doesn't seem like a deal that's going to come to fruition in the Bronx. I just don't see it. I mean, dude, look at what the reports are after the winter meetings, that the Yankees have checked in with tons of players, whether free agents or via the trade, and everyone across the league and across free agency has been underwhelmed. That tells you where they are right now.
It's really unbelievable, man.
That tells you where they are. So imagine Jazz. Jazz is one extreme and the Yankees are another extreme. Jazz is going to want whatever years he could imagine that he's worth and whatever money he can imagine that he's worth, right? It's funny because Simeon got traded this offseason after I used him as a comp for the deal that I think Jazz would look for in free agency. Then he got moved, right? Think back to that Simeon. Do you think the Yankees are going to commit that kind of money in years to Jazz Chisholm?
No, I have a tough time believing it. I do. And the one thing I will say here is that, when the Jazz deal happened, Agus was, close to us on this channel. Like, we followed Agus for years. We kind of brought him up before really anybody was even talking about Agus. And before
as
he
always
became kind of just like a regular kind of household name. If you follow the Yankees and you're a diehard fan, you kind of knew who he was. So when it was traded, it was like, oh, damn, wow. Like, all right, for Jazz. And the one concern we had for Jazz was a concern around baseball. It was the whole Miguel Rojas situation, was how was he in the clubhouse? Veterans haven't really been the most happy guy with Jazz in the past. And when you could see it from our end, I could understand where some of that might come from, where you got maybe certain veterans that he could rub wrong because it's just who Jazz is. And again, is that a bad thing? No. Jazz is a flashy player. You got to know that the minute you lock Jazz into a deal, you got to understand, Jazz ain't going to change. It's who he is. And there's nothing wrong with who the guy is. You just got to make sure it's for you. My only problem that I said all year, towards the end of the year specifically, because actually preseason, we both predicted 30-30 for Jazz, and he did it. So there wasn't many people out there saying 30-30 for Jazz. That was like kind of surprising. And we were like, I actually believe the dude's a 30-30 guy, and he did that. And like you said, and then some, and he could have went 40-40 potentially. I mean, that's actually in the bat. He could be a 40-40 guy. I don't think
on the right squad, I think he is a 40-40 guy.
Agreed. That's not a stretch of imagination anywhere. But the thing here is, the only issue I had was, when this is not Miami. When you talk in New York, we're going to hold you to that. And you can't talk and the team wins. You got to talk and you got to be the guy then. You got to be the guy, brother. You can't talk about we're going to beat the Jays, then we're going to go to the World Series, and we're going to win the division, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Because now I'm seeing you as, well, Jazz must be one of the vocal leaders. All right, postseason hits. You better be a dog out there. And he was a dog. Unfortunately, he was a Yorkie in the postseason. He was a Yorkie.
That's crazy.
He wasn't a pit bull.
That's wild. I mean,
he was the one with the bark, but let's be honest, ain't nobody scared of a Yorkie. Like nobody's scared of a Yorkie at all. And again, this is, people could hear that and be like, oh, that's a why you. It's not an attack on Jazz. It's doing it in New York. You got to be the pit bull. If you're gonna talk that way, be the pit bull overall. Be the pit bull on the field too. I love this shit when Jazz is like, oh yeah, excuses, right? With Kansas City. Oh no, they got lucky. Here's that they got lucky. Guess what? When they won, I went immediately. I was like, yeah, lucky. They did get lucky. And it was fun to talk about because he wasn't wrong. So it was like, yeah, you stood up too and you did your thing. So that's the only thing with Jazz. But I want to move on to then what it would look like if they traded him. First and foremost, I'm going to sit here and say it. The Yankees should be building upon players like Jazz with Aaron Judge, not just moving them. So with that being said, do you move Jazz and do you get something to really benefit your team? But with that being said, do you sign a Bo Bichette and you say, you know what? We're more comfortable with this guy long-term at second base. We think his personality fits the club better. I don't know. But I've been saying this for a while, all season, really. Mark Feinstein wrote an article. It looked like it was basically word for word. And by the way, what I'm saying here isn't like, oh, man, that's some crazy news. It's fairly obvious, I think, that Bichette should become a second baseman. So even if you have him the 1 year at short and then you move him to second base, or you move him to second base out the gate immediately, and maybe you add a shortstop still or somebody else via Jazz trade, and maybe some good relievers and things of that nature. So my thing is, that's the only way I see this being a real possibility, really depending on how do you move Jazz and make your team significantly better if you're not going to spend money. How do you trade Jazz and go, all right, well, we got, because remember, it is still 1 year. And the concerns we have, other teams have that concern too. Mm-hmm. So that's my thing with him is if you were to move him, how is any of this, how's it going to work?
I think, well, here's what I can see. And you said this already. So again, this is me not saying anything that's crazy news. I don't see Bo Bichette to the Yankees happening.
Me either.
For a myriad of reasons, but more so just the temperature that the Yankees have kind of put out for us. Yep. I mean, we all just witnessed what happened at the winter meetings, or sorry, lack thereof happenings at the winter meetings for the New York Yankees. And to me, that's the tempest right now around this team. It just is what it is. So I mean, barring some unforeseen miracle, I don't see that. Now, the next thing I'm going to say to me is just as miraculous, but I will say this. Because of how team-friendly Ketel Marte's contract is, to me, he is the corresponding move that makes the most Yankee sense. If you trade Jazz, right? Right? So if you trade Jazz, then you trade for Ketel Marte. Why? He's inexpensive. team-friendly deal. He's clutch, great, not good, great right-handed bat in the lineup. He's a switch hitter, but he is a great right-handed bat in the lineup in a lineup that is deficient right now.
Yep.
Even when they talk about like the Cody Bellinger stuff or whatever, I'm like, okay, like Cody Bellinger could be the priority. All that's cute, dandy, whatever. But they could sign Cody Bellinger tomorrow, and yet the problem still persists. The team, the lineup is way too left-handed. So
and the GM openly admits that he is the architect too and has created, and not one beat writer simply looks at him and goes, "Hey, here's a mirror, brother. Like where's the conversation here?"
one of my favorite, I gotta say, one of my favorite shorts reels of the offseason was hold up a mirror to yourself, bro. That was good. That was really good because
I don't get it.
sometimes
How do you
he
sit there and
speaks as
complain
if
about
it's not him.
everything? That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's like there's is there other people doing this that we don't know about? Like, but you're the architect and you're sitting there saying, we got a lot of big commitments here, and we're too left-handed. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
but you're putting this together.
It just feels like they don't. It feels like he doesn't like. Obviously he doesn't mean it to come off that way, right? We would agree.
No, of
Brian
course not.
Cashman
Yeah,
isn't
of course.
like, I mean, he doesn't mean it to come off that way, but
Right.
it's impossible for us to sit there, listen to those press conferences, and not respond the way that you
Right.
responded.
Exactly
like, brother,
right.
look in the mirror. Like, we're hearing you. We understand. Like, okay, you may not mean this, but it's also like Pete Simonetti's job or Francis Lee's job to respond by saying, Brian, brother, like, you built this team. Like, why does it feel like every offseason you wake up from a fever dream and you're like, oh my God, this team is so right-handed. Like, oh my God, this
facts.
team has no pitching. Oh my God, the bullpen is horrendous. It's like, what are you waking up from? Like,
Bro, it's been so many years too, right? Remember, it was too right-handed.
Yeah.
And now it's too left-handed. And now
Yeah.
there's not enough contact. Well, there's
Yeah.
enough power. There's not a balance. It's like,
Exactly.
bro, but Brian, you're making this stuff up. Medina, appreciate you, brother. But you're making this stuff. You know, you're the one doing this stuff. So I don't know. But going back to what you were saying about Marte, I don't disagree. I agree 100%. You know,
Yeah.
I agree 100%. It's crazy thing about a guy like Marte is the Diamondbacks have come out and they kind of said what they want. And everybody believes there's a really strong chance he's going to be traded. And the Diamondbacks have come out as like, hey, man, we need controllable starting pitching. And you
Major League
haven't
ready,
heard-
too.
Brother, you haven't heard anything regarding the Yankees being in contact with them or having interest. And folks,
Not a whisper.
the Yankees have a lot of major league ready pitching. Now, look, don't get me wrong. It's not like they've been connected and they were like, well, you know, they wanted Cam to be the main piece and the Yankees are balking at. You haven't even heard that. That the Yankees are like, look, we love this guy, but really not for Cam. We're willing to do Warren plus others and really make it a good deal still. But we really want it. We like Cam. You haven't even heard that. Now, you could debate that if you will give him up or not. You could debate that all you want. I'm just simply saying we have the pieces and there hasn't even been a connection. Zero, nothing of a guy that obviously fits what the Yankees need. And that's my problem right there is Brian Cashman himself. I tell you guys this all the time. Listen to Unc Pete. When Unc Pete talks, listen to what I tell you. Just use their words against them. You don't got to debate. Use the Yankees' own words. Brian Cashman said we need a right-handed bat. I mean, he did talk about platoons and stuff like that and figuring that out, but we need a right-handed bat. Francis just said it. Marte's a switch hitter. He's a right-handed bat. Bo Bichette's a right-handed bat. You haven't heard a single rumor that the Yankees are interested in either one of those guys.
It's funny to me because as you see the winter meetings come to a conclusion this week, all the people, whether it's your Passons, whether it's your Greg Singers from MLB Network, all the people who cover this game, who have been following the Yankees for as long as we have and longer, they find it hard to believe that the New York Yankees would essentially just be content with running it back. They did. I mean, Greg Singer came out and said, like, I don't believe that Cody Bellinger is really their priority. I have to believe that they're going to make a bid for Kyle Tucker. It just doesn't. I don't see why they wouldn't. And I'm listening to him and I'm like, buddy, it's not going to happen. Like, it's crazy because like normally we're the ones that have to be spoken to that way. Like the shoe is on the other foot, and we're the ones saying, "No, we're gonna get this guy," and they're the ones saying, "No, guys, it's not realistic. It's not gonna happen." And now this time, it's them. They're like, "No, it's the Yankees. They have to. I mean, they have to talk to Kyle Tucker at some point. They have to." Well, I mean, when you said it on DS on Monday when we did the special for 2 hours. You're like, I mean, Brian, you were right there. You were right there in Florida, right there. He lives right in Tampa. No meeting, nothing. Nothing.
Zero.
You guys were
Zero.
right there. So you mean to tell me that they were right there, but they're waiting to come back to the frigid Bronx to meet with him for the first time? I find that hard to believe. I'm sorry. Hey, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong in a week, I'll come on here and say it. But it just, I don't see it. I don't see it.
I agree with you. I have a tough time believing the Yankees do anything but Bellinger. And
Tucker seems like a one-team race right now. Let's be real.
Yeah, it does. It seems like the Blue Jays are kind of driving that race. I mean, even he posted a video the other day of his offseason workouts, and Vlad was the first dude with some big eyes in the comments. So I'm just like, I mean, they probably have a good understanding. I think it was. Sometimes I get the reporters wrong, but I want to say it was Ken Rosenthal. It might have been Jeff Passan. It was one of those guys, I believe, when they basically come out and said they think it's actually it's a real possibility that the Yankees get Tucker and they bring back Bo. And I mean, you're talking about a team that just went to the World Series, man. And they would have made 4 really big improvements to their club, big players. And yeah, some people may not say Cody Ponce is a big player. I agree. I wouldn't say he's a big player, but he's somebody who has found something, and I actually believe he's going to be a pretty decent major league starting pitcher. And that's just going to help that team out a ton. The Yankees are out here making minor league relief pitching moves, and that's it. And again, trying to find maybe we find something in somebody instead of just saying, fuck, finding something. Let's just get the best available. Let's make a big splash here. And again, I think every Yankee fan typically agrees. You got the majority of Yankee fans that sit out there and go, Cody Bellinger isn't a big splash. He's not a big splash. He's more of what we've had. And that's not a knock on Belly, but every Yankee fan feels the same way. If you get Bellinger, well, what else are you bringing us? You got to bring something else to the table. Well, if you listen to the Brian Cashman talk about Yankee fans, well, it's just not realistic. Can't do all these things. Yankee fans, I don't know why they think we could do all this stuff. It's just not fair. It's not realistic. E. Diego says, the meetings were boring once I saw the most concrete thing from Boobles Nightingale. Boobles.
That's the first time I heard him referred to that way. Shouts out to you. I love hearing new shit. You know what's interesting too about the Bo Bichette market, right?
Okay, the Bo market. All right.
The Boston Red Sox were very, very intelligent about grabbing that meeting with Bo Bichette during the winter meetings.
Yep.
And here's why I say that. Clearly, the Toronto Blue Jays are otherwise indisposed when it comes to the Bo Bichette market because they are currently trying to court a white whale in Kyle Tucker, right? They signed Dylan Cease, made a huge splash rotationally, and then shifted their focus, it seems like, to Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker went and visited their facility there down in Tampa, it's Dunedin. And he saw and whatever, and that's what they're focused on right now. So other teams, a la Boston Red Sox, realize, okay, so Bo Bichette's kind of in the wind right now. At some point or other, Toronto will turn their attention towards Bo because he's their guy, and obviously there's mutual interest on reuniting. But if we step in right now, we could get real sneaky. This is a good time to get sneaky with Bo Bichette, and slide in there, you know what I'm saying? Do a little Zoom meeting, you know what I'm saying? And start whispering sweet nothings and say, listen, man, I know you love Toronto. I know you want to be back there, but, they look a little busy on the other fronts right now. And for us, you're our guy. You're our top priority right now. Listen, we're not even interested in that Kyle Tucker guy. Kyle Tucker, who? Who is that? We don't even care about him. You're all our eyes can see. This was a perfect moment, a perfect opportunity. And Boston swooped in, did the Zoom meeting. And hey, it might not materialize into anything. But I got to give credit where it's due. That was a very, very smart maneuver by the Boston Red Sox. And in my opinion, yet another miss by the Yankees. Now, some Yankees front office people would probably respond to me and be like, it's not a miss because we're not interested in him. That's fine. I disagree with that. No, because that's what they would tell us,
No,
right?
they would. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm laughing because
They'd
you're
be
100% right.
They'd be like, how's it a miss? How's it a miss, Pete? We're not interested in the guy.
We never went for him. Well, how could you miss on somebody like that if you never went for him? Well, you didn't take a fucking at bat. That's the problem. You didn't take an at bat, all right? That's
Maybe
the
they
issue.
go up there and tell you.
Maybe they didn't go up there and tell you, what's the guy going to land on the fucking fairway?
Go out on the fairway.
I do want to talk about one other player that's a possibility, but let's get right into voicemails. Guys, the voicemail line is still open. You guys have absolutely blew us up this morning. My goodness. Smack that like, hit that sub, and let's keep them going. Here we go.
Hey, good morning,
Yo!
guys. I just wanted to comment first on the Tucker Bellinger thing. I know a lot of people want Tucker. I mean, he is the better hitter, I guess. For me, I look at the overall player, and I like a guy that's versatile and plays defense. But I think people are discounting the fact that Bellinger is a guy that they know. They know his work ethic. They know how he fits in the clubhouse. For people that think that doesn't matter, look what's going on with the Mets, right? And they know his health, right? So I think people are discounting that. I mean, it's north of $100 million, right? I think it helps when you know the person. So we'll see. Hopefully they get him. As far as Jazz, I mean, listen, Cashman said he wanted a right-hand bat, right? So to me, it's got to be either Jazz or Ryan McMahon, right? It's got to be one of those guys that you're gonna trade to get a right-handed player. And I think if they get Bellinger, then I think that makes probably Dominguez dispensable, and they'll go out and get a pitcher. Maybe trade for a pitcher, or maybe they just sign a free agent pitcher and they get some sort of relief pitching. So I think that's the plan. It's still early. I'm not worried, but I'd like for them to just get the Bellinger deal done. This way, all these other pieces can fall into place. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Bye.
Yeah, look, I take into account what you said, and I understand that completely, but that's part of the job of being in the front office. As part of the job of pro scouting. That's what those guys do. Is Tucker a fit here? Will he fit in? Will it work? Bellinger, you're right. Bellinger came here and he worked out well. Bellinger was good for us. There's no doubt about that. Problem with Cody Bellinger that concerns me is he can't be your only move and you're going to sit back and just say, all right, this is it. You know what I mean? This is the way that we're going to go. And that's it. That cannot be the way that this is going to work. I don't like that idea. And I think majority of Yankee fans feel the same way. If it's Bellinger, it's got to be Bellinger plus. It's got to be Bellinger plus more, plus something else. And there's really been not much evidence of what the Yankees game plan will be. Now, I've said for 2 years, basically, more than 2 years now, that I believe Jason Dominguez will be traded. I still believe Jason Dominguez will be traded. I don't think the Yankees have any plans to play Jason Dominguez. I know they come out and they say, well, if Bellinger doesn't come back, we're probably going to run Dominguez out there. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't. And I want to be wrong about that because I really do want to see him get a full shot, see what Jason Dominguez could do in a full year. But I think the Yankees move him. I really still believe they move Jason Dominguez. I guess what you were kind of saying there too is that if you re-sign Bellinger, you would then trade Jazz or McMahon. I understand the idea behind that, but if Bellinger is the only move, I have a tough time trading Jazz if you're not adding somebody else back to this team. Unless, Francis said again, you're getting a Marte, but then would the Yankees move Jazz to third base? I don't know. And that's what I'm saying. It's the lineup it's the construction of the roster that Brian Cashman has put together. It's like you can't simply just say, all right, well, we do this one piece and then you do something else. No, because if you do that one piece, you got to do multiple moves. And don't get me wrong, none of that's it's not like it's not realistic that you can't do that. It's like you're playing a video game. No, not really. I disagree with a lot of people that say there's no way you could trade Ryan McMahon. I don't believe that. I've said this for a while. I just don't believe that. Ryan McMahon is not in this gigantic contract. He's not in this huge deal.
He's not Anthony Volpe.
Exactly. And he's not a guy like Volpe. He has a track record in the NL West, and you don't know what his interest will be. There's not a lot of good third basemen available right now. A team out there may simply say, well, the Yankees, am I saying the Yankees are going to just go out there and easily trade him and it's going to be the full contract just to get shipped away? No. But again, if you needed to move him, you can move him. You are not stuck with Ryan McMahon. The idea and the thought process that there's no way the Yankees can move this dude, it's wrong. I don't believe it. I do not believe it.
No.
This is not a situation of, you know, a Stanton, for an example, where it's like, come on, man, like who's gonna really take him? He has a no trade on top of that. It's not that situation. They can definitely move on from McMahon. There would certainly be takers for him. You just got to get creative. And that's my thing with Brian Cashman and these Yankees, is if you did bring him back and you went ahead and did that, right? You've got to be able to have other things kind of locked in and ready to go. You got to have some understanding of what the other moves are going to make. You're going to have to break up this big lefty thing. And look, they talked about this challenge trade, which, you know, I don't know where the hell they call this a challenge trade. I just feel is being creative. You might have to make a creative move like that. Like maybe Jazz does get traded. Maybe McMahon gets traded. Maybe you just get a damn good shortstop. You know, there's many different routes this team can go. It's just I don't feel like Brian Cashman is, you know, going to be that guy.
Yeah. I look at it, look, when it comes to like the market and all these things that people are talking about right now with Bellinger, Tucker, all these guys. Look, I said I feel Tucker right now is a one-team market. I very much feel the same way with Bellinger, right?
Yeah.
And when people say, "Oh, you know, I'll feel better when the Yankees go and sign him," to be honest with you, here's why I believe the Yankees have not signed him yet. Because as much as Scott Boras has blown smoke for weeks now, or over a month, nothing has materialized. We haven't heard of even a preliminary meeting between Cody Bellinger and the Mets. So you're talking about, oh, the Mets are interested, the Mets are interested, the Mets are interested. All we hear is that the Mets are interested, the Mets are interested, the Phillies are interested, the Angels are interested. Everybody's interested.
Where's the offers at?
But no meetings. No meetings,
or where's the
no
offer?
offers, no nothing. And you might say, okay, but it's early for offers right now. Okay, fine, maybe it is. But
Is it?
But the Boston Red Sox had a Zoom meeting with Bo Bichette. There was no offer made. It was just a preliminary get to know you type thing. Where was that? If the Mets are seriously considering Cody Bellinger, they didn't do much of anything else this week. They watched Pete Alonso walk to Baltimore. They watched Edwin Diaz go to the Dodgers. Yes, they were in negotiations with both of those players. I think they checked in on Kyle Schwarber as well. But dude, you have a team of people. If you want to check in and have a meeting on Zoom or whatever, this takes what, an hour? Like it doesn't just to, like, again, with Cody Bellinger, I've been seeing it from the outset. I am starting to really struggle to believe that there are as many teams in on this guy seriously as Scott Boras and others want to lead us to believe. I'm not saying that the Mets won't swoop in at some point and be strong players for Cody Bellinger. I'm saying that as it stands today, on December 12th, the Yankees have no reason to bid against themselves.
Agreed. And, you know, Christian brought up a good point yesterday. It's like, you know, if the Yankees talk about so badly, this is the guy they want, man, why don't you just give him the years he wanted and get it out the way? And if that's your true belief, like, look, I disagree with that. I would never give Cody Bellinger 7 years. I think you got to get your friggin' mind. But I understand where Christian is coming from in that regards. If this is really the guy the Yankees are basically saying we're going to die on this hill for, then give him what he wants and get him back here. You are the Yankees at the end of the day.
To that point,
give him what he wants, get him back here, and that's it. Like if it's well, you know, the Yankees aren't budging off 5 years. Well, why? You guys like him so much. He's this great pick for you. Brian Cashman found him, right? They kind of gave him to us, and he was such a great fit for the Yankees. Well, we love his versatility. We love all this. Well, if that's the case, why don't you just give him the extra years?
To that point, right?
I don't gotta like it, but
no, to that
if
point,
you guys like him that much, give him the extra years then.
I've been saying 6 years for Cody is where I see it landing if it is indeed the Yankees when it's all said and done. And the reason I say 6 years is because I feel like the Yankees were going to be around 4 or 5 years. They're at 5. Okay, makes sense. And I knew that Boras would be looking for around 7. So I said, okay, the happy medium to me seems like it's going to be around 6 years. That's what I'm seeing. So if the Yankees wanted, could they very well go and put a 6-year offer on the table right now today? Of course they could.
Of course, they gave a 5. They could do a 6 or a 7.
And could Cody Bellinger very well say, yeah, I'm going to take that deal and just lock in and go through my holiday season, Christmas, New Year, already knowing that I'm coming back and I'm going to be a Yankee? Of course. But Brian Cashman, to his credit, and the Yankees are probably sitting there saying, yes, we really want this guy, but we don't want to bid against ourselves. The
Agreed.
financial situation is a real situation, and we are not in the position to bid against ourselves. So until we see another team seriously in on him and seriously considering beating our offer, what reason do we have to go? And to that point, they said it on SNY last night, I think. They're like, look,
Okay, Francis, big fan of SNY. All right.
not really, but they did say they said something that made a lot of sense. They're like, listen, if the Mets like Cody Bellinger, the writing is on the wall. It's all out there that the Yankees offer is at 5 years. If they like, why don't they just come out and just blow him out of the water and say, here's 7? They have the money.
Agreed.
They have the space.
I agree.
Didn't bring back Alonso. They didn't bring back Diaz. They traded Nimmo. Like, there's really, and when I heard it, I said, dollars, you know what I'm saying? Dollars to cent. It makes a ton of sense.
I mean, it really does make a lot of sense for the Mets. Like, it really does.
Pete, if
right
they
now, with Alonso
serious,
leaving, it makes a lot of sense for the Mets.
when did they sign Juan Soto?
It took a while. It was late.
No, but remember, we're already past the date. We're already past the date when the Juan Soto signing was announced.
Yep.
So for the people who are saying, well, no, it's still, they signed Juan Soto early December.
Yeah,
so
that's right. That's right.
That tells you that Boris is doing a good job of what he always does, drumming up this smoke and whatever. But in reality, the true story with Bellinger, it's not the one that Boris is painting. It's just not. It's not the one that Boris is painting. It's not the one that you've seen in the articles, Heyman and all these other people. Heyman named, 560? He said the Giants, the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Mets, the Reds, the Phillies. Yep. He named all these teams. Okay, cool. You can name I could name teams right now. If I want to sit here on All Rise and name 10 teams that could like Cody Bellinger, I can name 10 teams.
Of course.
But real interest is a very different thing. And as of right now, the only team that has shown real interest in Cody Bellinger and has made it public and said it are the Yankees.
That's true.
And to me, it's the same point. It's the same thing with Tucker. The only what team do you see outside of the Blue Jays doing anything with Tucker?
Nobody.
Outside of the Red Sox, who's done anything with Bichette?
No, at least not publicly at all. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
They've had conversations. No, nobody.
With Schwarber, we followed it this week. It was very different. We heard a lot of
teams. Same thing with Pete.
Yeah, bro. We heard the Pirates had a deal on the table. We heard the Reds were really interested, bringing them back to play for the hometown.
Baltimore.
The Orioles were interested. They had a contract on the table. The Mets were interested in him also. I mean, the Phillies obviously were the incumbent. Like, we heard all this. The Red Sox were interested in bringing him back over. I mean, we heard all this, and it was reported by everybody's journalists all over. Everybody's beat writers was talking to say for their teams. They were all saying they have interest here. They have interest there. And it was moving. It was moving, and then it came to a steam. And he signed. He went back to Philly. And then that was it.
Yeah, that's right.
Pete Alonso, same thing. One day to the next. Oh, steam. He's an Oriole. Bang. Diaz kind of caught me by surprise. Came out of nowhere.
That did come out of nowhere. That did come out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, I had him. The moment that they signed Devin Williams, I had him leaving the Mets. I saw a lot of Mets fans saying, no, like, we signed Devin Williams because we're going to pair him with Diaz and we're going to have the best back end of the bullpen in baseball, whatever. I just didn't see it. Because I couldn't see David Stearns committing almost $100 million to 2 relievers. I don't know. And credit to some Mets fans who, they do have logical heads on their shoulders. And they were saying, I don't know, it's going to be a little bit tough now because that doesn't seem like a Stearns move. 2 relievers at that price tag. And this one's going to cost even more. But I saw a lot of them saying, nah, we're going to have both. We're going to have both. The moment that Devin Williams was announced, I was like, damn, I guess they're going to let Diaz walk. And then apparently they tried to keep him.
Yep. The interesting thing, too, I'm happy you brought up Devin Williams, which is fun because if you guys remember, I kind of said it in the chat that Devin Williams was not the most popular guy in the Yankees clubhouse, and I didn't want to really go into details about it because it's not necessarily my job to go ahead and put players on blast on certain things. But now reports are coming out that a lot of Yankee people are very relieved that Devin Williams is gone. I told you guys this a couple of weeks ago, and even during the season, we actually spoke about it with Devin Williams on how, there's been some talk in the clubhouse and things of that nature that he wasn't the best guy around. But yeah, that news came out today that Yankee officials and people around the club are very relieved that Devin Williams is now a New York Met. So let's keep the voicemails going, folks.
Hey, Pete, Kamala here.
Yo, there he is.
Gosh, it's so hard to be optimistic right now. I don't even want to. I mean, I'm a true Yankee fan, and it's going to be hard to watch games next year if Baldy doesn't get off its fucking ass and make some moves. I know he's going to make some moves, but how good of moves? Is he going to go into the trash bin like him or what? But, yeah, hopefully he makes some moves soon so we can at least have some optimism. Go get an eye and hell, just bring Bellinger back in 4 or 5 years, and be done with it. And my Bellinger, because I know we're not getting the fucking Tucker. If we do, I'll go jump off the fucking bridge. But yeah, let's all have a good day, and hopefully we have some good news soon. All right, have a good day, Pete, and go Yankees.
Malay, that is not the way. Don't jump off a bridge. Not because of these guys.
Freaking love Malay, you my guy, brother. They ain't worth it, Malay. They ain't worth it, damn it. Don't you do it. Nah, all is gonna be well, man. Let me get to like one or two more voicemails. I want to bring up one other name that's still out there that people are talking about as a potential for the Yankees. And I just want to bring up some things that some people said about him. We'll go from there. Hold on. Let's keep it going.
Good morning, Pete. The Bella Vista Bocce Master calling from Bella Vista, New Haven, Connecticut. How you doing? How you doing? I wanted to answer your question about Jazz. I think we should keep him. You know, because I know he causes a little bit of controversy sometimes, but he's a heck of a player, though. I think we should keep him, but if they have to trade him, you know, we have to trade him. But, you know, he's good. He steals bases, hits 30 home runs, plays good defense. I want to make some comments about the Mets. Too bad about Alonso going to the Orioles, huh? Too bad. Well, to all those Met chumps out there who always criticize my guy and call him Captain Choke, don't feel too badly about it. You can always come over to our side. We'll be happy to welcome you. I'll convert you. I already converted 5 Mets into Yankees fans because I'm ordained here at Bella Vista. I'm telling you, all those Mets, every year the same thing. They choke. They're already done. They may as well just stay in Florida to 2027. But I leave the Met fans with this song, Pete. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, the Mets are done. The Mets are done. I'll be a son of a gun. The Mets are done. They choke every year. Isn't it clear? The Mets are done. I told you so. Root for the Yankees. Well, you have a good day, Pete. Rock on. NYY New Ground forever. Smacky the likey. Hit it, either sunny. And remember, Aaron Judge is a gift from God. I said, Aaron Judge is a gift from God. And don't feel too badly about it, Mets. Like I said, we don't need 2 New York teams in New York. We got the best one in the Bronx. I was the one that said to begin with here. So you see, the master is right. Have a good day, Pete. Bye.
I mean, I don't know what to say about this. Just an absolutely unbelievable, just amazing. Top notch, top of the line.
Baptizing Yankees fans out there in Bella Vista. I mean, that's some wild stuff. I mean, he said I've converted 5. Is that what he said?
He's converted 5 Mets fans into Yankee fans at Bella Vista.
That is wild, man. That's all right. Shouts out to, I mean, it's a little tough though. It's a little bit of a tough sell right now, I'll say, because I mean, yeah, I'm a Yankees fan and I root for my guys, and you know, I plan on staying 2 feet firmly placed on this side. I just think it's a tough sell right now to tell a Mets fan, "Hey, come to the Bronx and whatever." I don't know.
It is tough.
It ain't looking too cute up. It ain't looking too cute up here either right now.
Maybe you know, maybe they didn't go up there and tell you. It's not looking too cute up here either. We got to get some things going before we really you know, are converting more Mets fans to Yankee fans. But let's get to one more voicemail. I want to bring up one more name after this.
Good morning, Pete. Francis, Jared, Chat. William Henry here. Well, I have a suggestion for Hal. Since he wants to cut expenses so much, why not start by making Cashman, Boone, and all the front office staff pay for their own travel expenses to the winter meetings since they didn't get anything done? And regarding Cody Bellinger, even though he did have a really good season for us last year, I am actively hoping the team does not sign him for a few reasons. One, A 5-year or more contract would be an overpay and not age well. 2, it would also just be running it back on a team that was not good enough last year. Number 3, it opened up the left field spot to give either Dominguez or Jones a chance to play. And I still believe in Dominguez, and the Yankees did not give him a fair chance last season. Also, by not signing Bellinger, and since I do not believe the Yankees are really interested in Bichette or Tucker for some unknown reason, it gives them the financial room to sign either Imai for the rotation or even Okamoto, for third base. They could then trade McMahon and possibly Jazz for some pitching help. It'd also get them back into the Japanese market.
Yep.
And finally, I saw Meredith in person doing her job at the winter meetings. She seems very professional and also has, shall we say, a great profile. Okay, I'm out. Bye.
He loves him some Meredith, man. I
love William Henry so much, man. This guy brings me so much joy with his voicemails. Nobody knows. He is just my
Shouts
guy,
out
man.
to Meredith Morakovitz, man. Big. She's got some fans over here
at the U, man.
She's
really
got some fans here, yeah.
Someone cued jumper by third eye blind for Millet. Damn, Kyle Millet out there, having a tough time. Replay up. What's up? Michael Jordan said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't make. Or you don't take. The Yankees refuse to take their shot while their foes take theirs and get better. This is not a name I'm bringing up, but it's a name we talked about before, and I want to put this on the screen for everybody to listen to John Morosi today talk about who the actual new contender is for Ketel Marte and the belief that he is definitely going to be traded. Let's take a listen.
Marte's services. Who is it? And is it a foregone conclusion he's out? What do you think?
Lauren, I think the chances have increased that Ketel Marte is going to be traded, and this possibility in particular really intriguing to me. The Tampa Bay Rays, according to Nick Picoro of the Arizona Republic, and the two names that he mentioned that could potentially go back to Arizona if this trade is consummated, Ryan Pepio and Shane Baz. Now, I think this is a really important data point and one that illustrates a lot of what we've been hearing about this potential possibility of a Ketel Marte trade in general, which is if the Diamondbacks are going to trade him, they want to get at least one, if not two, major league ready starting pitchers. That is the need on the part of the Diamondbacks. And again, we've talked about the Red Sox having depth. One of the reasons why they are a good trade partner for the Diamondbacks in this trade. Notably, the D-backs and the Rays have done a lot of business in the past, a lot of trades between those two organizations. So stay tuned. There was a good report by Nick. I think that the...
All right, I'm just going to leave it right there because this would be hilarious. And I hate saying it. My prediction the whole time has been he's going to go to the Red Sox. We'll see what happens there. I mean, that man would absolutely obliterate the, Fenway Park. That would be insane.
Yeah.
But you got two AL East teams that are in the hunt for Ketel Marte, a guy we just talked about. And literally, the New York Yankees are, I guess, sitting on the sidelines with no concern whatsoever. And just letting it be, and that's it. Like, it's just unbelievable to me that they're talking about Ketel Marte, two AL East teams are involved. Every team in the AL East, besides truly the Rays, have made pretty big splashes. I mean, people are forgetting about what the Baltimore Orioles have done to their lineup now. They've added a shit ton of right-handed power. A shit ton of it to go along with the lefties they already have that a lot of people believe if those guys ever take a step, Holiday, if Gunnar Henderson's Gunnar Henderson, if Rushman comes back, Basilio has a big year. I mean, holy shit. Like, that lineup is absolutely devastating. Along with Pete Alonso in there, along with, what's his face? The outfielder they got. What the hell is his last name? I keep forgetting his name. That they got from the Angels. Ward. They got Ward from the Yankees with 30-plus homers also.
Taylor Ward.
So, I mean, you're adding so much to your club, and the Yankees are kind of sitting back, not doing much. Now, I'd throw this out there. There is one rumor. I don't know how real it is, but apparently our friend Mike Deportes talked about this a little bit, that the Yankees are kicking the tires on Corey Seager. as a possibility for their club. And, you know, somebody said it to me like this, and I'm like, you know what? You're not wrong about that. They're like, bro, if Corey Seager plays 115 games for the Yankees, he's better than the majority of the players on the team besides Judge. And I'm like, yeah. But I wanted to get your take on the whole Corey Seager conversation, because the thing that pisses me off, man, is we could have had Corey Seager years ago for just money. And now you got to shuffle back because you're planning. Yeah, of course, if plans don't go right, you got to kind of restructure it and change up. But Volpe hasn't worked the way they've wanted it to work, and they know that. You know, they could talk about, oh, we think he's great all they want. They know that. But Corey Seager now is when you go get is when you might have interest in Corey Seager, not when all those great free agents were available. You had nothing then. But now is when you're sitting there, and you remember guys like Joe Sherman was saying, I think Seager's a Yankee. Like, Seager makes the perfect, and this is when he was a free agent, by the way. Like, this guy fits the Yankees so well. And the Yankees are like, yeah, nah, we good. We good. Now, years later, we're like, all right, Volpe hasn't really panned out, so are we interested in picking this dude up?
Corey Seager's a great player. No need to reiterate all that. And I think you guys know that. And I think if you need to see like my feelings on who Corey Seager is, just go back a couple years when that shortstop class was there. We talked about it. He was one of my favorite guys at the top of that class. Only guy I think I wanted more was Carlos Correa. That was the only one that I think I had above him for the Yankees was Correa. And it was more about what Correa brought in terms of intangibles. Like, Correa is just such a dog. He's such a like animal mentality wise. I mean, he's got that never say quit mentality. And that's the only thing that I had him over Seager with. But fast forward to where we are now. I mean, Seager's another lefty in a very left-handed lineup. He's another, it's almost redundant. And you say, well, not really, because he plays shortstop and he's a different kind of bat. I mean, Jazz can't do what he does. You know, Ben Rice also, you know, I get that. Another lefty in an already very left-handed lineup, right? Ben Rice seems to be a part of the solution on this team. Austin Wells, look, you can say what you want about the numbers. He ranks out top 10 in his position. That is what it is. He seems to be, you know, mainstay also on this team. You re-sign Trent Grisham for $22 million. He's going to get a ton of at-bats on this team. Jazz Chisholm is still currently on this team, another left-handed guy who's going to get a ton of at-bats, and you are actively pursuing Cody Bellinger, who is yet another left-handed bat who's going to see a ton of at-bats if you sign him for money in years. I say all that to say, where does Seager make sense on the Yankees in 2026? I just don't see it. That's why a move for somebody like Ketel Marte makes a lot more sense to me. And when you hear about the return that's being discussed with Tampa Bay, Pepio and Shane Baz, I'm like, okay, so you mean to tell me you can't throw your hat in there with Will Warren and Louis Hill? Rookie of the year, Louis Hill? 100-mile-an-hour fastball, Louis Hill?
I can't imagine a team. I can't imagine the Diamondbacks back. Yeah, nah, that's nowhere near what we're looking for. I can't imagine that. It's not. It doesn't really add up. Diego, my guy, says I prefer Zach Neto to Seager. Yeah, who wouldn't? I mean, I do too. But they're not going to trade Zach Neto. They got no reason to trade him. Then I see some people throw out some of these names. Perdomo from Arizona. Why would they trade Perdomo? Perdomo's not making nothing. And the guy's just reached his potential. He's starting to reach his potential now. There's no reason to deal that guy. Like, you got to be honest, folks. Like, there's not many. There are players that are realistic, and then there's players that's like, unless the team is openly saying that we're interested in making this move, there's not many of those guys the Yankees can just simply call up and go, hey, let's get a deal done here. When the team's gonna be like, yeah, but why? No, we're good. We're not gonna make. Why am I gonna trade Perdomo now? Why? Why does that make sense for the Arizona Diamondbacks? What are we, your minor league organization? No. But why would we do that for?
The only reason that they're considering trading Ketel Marte has a lot to do with the emergence of Perdomo and them believing
and pitching, and they need pitching.
Exactly. The need for pitching, the emergence of Perdomo, the way that Corbin Carroll seems to be the de facto leader of this offense. That's why they could see themselves parting ways with a Ketel Marte. Mm-hmm. You're not trading. Perdomo. There's no way. There's so much value in somebody who plays the position of shortstop the way that he does and is the bat that he is in that lineup. You can't get that kind of value on the market. There's no way they would even consider it. Now, did you see the news about Michael Garcia's extension with Kansas City?
It's funny. I pulled it up just now and I saw
There you
that. And I want to actually see if I can do something here because I don't know. We don't know the money yet, but that's an interesting comp. That's an interesting comp for a lot of different things. I mean,
Yeah.
look, you look at he's in a lineup where, let's be honest, Michael Garcia is not in a lineup like the Yankees.
No.
He's not in that type of lineup. But Michael Garcia does a lot of good things right. The guy had a 5.8 WAR. This is on, Baseball Reference. There's WAR. They had him almost 6 WAR. Aaron Judge, I believe, is like 6.6. Or was that a 6? No, that's projected for this year is what they project. He's way higher than that. Judge was like almost at a 9, I think.
Yeah.
Like something insane.
Yeah.
He's like something absolutely insane. But the reason I bring that up, right, is do you know compared to Jazz where he was?
I've done this comparison for 2025. It's an interesting comparison actually because it's pretty damn close.
Jazz was at a 4.2 WAR. Michael Garcia is at a 5.8. And yeah, of course, there are different type of players. Jazz is more of a power guy, right? He's added that pop, speed, power, and all that. Michael Garcia is I put the ball in play. I get hits. I can run around the diamond well. I do all those type of things. I'm really a fundamental player is what Michael Garcia really is. A little different. But I bring that up because I think that is a possibility of something you look at down the line and go, well, what did he get? And yeah, more people do pay for power. I understand that. But should it be that significant of a gap? I don't think so. And I think Garcia might be a little younger than Jazz.
There's also
the
fact that, Garcia's been with Kansas City for a little while. So comfort will play into that in a pretty large sense. And I think when it comes to Jazz, yes, he's been with the Yankees for a little while now, but didn't come up here, came up in Miami, and
2 years difference in age.
As much as he says that he wants to be here long term and wants to continue playing here, the Yankees aren't going to get any kind of discount with Jazz Chisholm. No, that's not going to happen. Whereas I could 1000% see a situation where the money comes in for Michael and we look at it and say, yeah, he could have got a little bit more than that if he would have tested them. Yeah, probably. But he's got guaranteed money now and he doesn't even have to change his location.
Yep, no doubt about it. Let's go ahead and keep the voicemails coming, baby. Here we go.
Oh, Peter Francis, Master Yoda in the house. Doing? How are you? Winter meetings ended. They have colder than a furnace Wookiee on hot they were. Fear not you do. Fear heed to the dark side. Feel sorry for Hal, I do not. Big a Jabba's ass he is. Cashman a nerf herder. Fishman dumb as a Kowakian monkey lizard he is. Bone uses the Force to blow bubbles he does. Frecklenuts use the Force, and NYY you Dumblerhead by Christmas you may. Everyone have holidays happy you do, and may the Force be with you. Out Yoda is.
That was amazing. That was really so good. On. That was so freaking good.
Alex said 5 out of 10? I think that's better than a 5 out of 10.
That's way better than a 5 out of 10. Come on.
5. He even had the little thing that
the laugh was man, the laugh was good.
I don't know
dude,
what that is,
I am a Star Wars fan through and through.
That was good.
That was a very good Yoda impression. That was really good. That was really good.
Matter of fact, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot.
Alex is a tough critic.
The legend has returned. Joey. I was worried about you, Joey. I didn't know what happened. You disappeared from like the face of the grid. I was like, what happened to my guy, Joey? All right, but let's keep it going.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, yes.
How you doing? It's Joey from the Bronxy, and I was just watching the winter meetings.
Okay.
There was nothing much to watch, by the way. Nothing going on. They just want to run it back. So I gotta issue an open letter to Hal again.
Oh, shit.
Hal. Oh, Hal. Hal. I just gotta say, listen, you seem like a nice enough guy. You're very pleasant, even though you come from a dynasty or a billionaire. You still seem down to earth, very humble, very measured. You look like a kind of guy that I would like to have a glass of wine with on his yacht and all that good shit. But that's the problem, isn't it, Hal? Hal, you don't have that killer instinct.
Yeah, it's true.
And this is nothing personal. Not everybody does. Your father did have it. He had it coming out of his ears. Okay? You, on the other hand, you're a nice guy and all of that stuff. So it's nothing personal, but that's part of the problem, Hal. That's part of the problem. Guys like you, they don't have the killer instinct.
Fact.
You know, if you're going to be a boss, you got to have that killer instinct. You don't have it. You don't have it, so that's why we didn't win a fucking chip for 16 years ever since you took it over. And that's not going to change. That's not going to change. So for the love of everything that is good and holy, Hal, sell the fucking team. Okay? I got the killer instinct. I can tell Pete does. There's millions of Yankees fans out there. I can tell. They're lions. They got the same instinct. You don't have it! You don't fucking have it!
It's true.
And we all know you don't have a fucking clue, do you, Hal? You're just a fucking clueless fucking moron. You don't have it. So just sell the team. Just sell the fucking team. You don't want to be involved with this shit anyway. Who are you kidding? So just sell the fucking team. Or at the very least, bring in some fucking outside capital. Bring in some fucking private equity money in here and be settled for a passive kind of fucking partnership. And let them take over. Okay, Hal? Hal? Don't fuck with me, Hal. Don't make a fuck out of me, Hal!
You gotta love Joey, man. Always to the point. You know you're gonna get the truth from him, what he believes, and you gotta love it. You gotta love it, man. I love Joey, man. That's my guy. Joey, shout out to you, my friend. You know, Joey, I'm gonna have to go to Italy one day, and maybe I'll go run in the house Steinberg to have a little glass of wine with him myself. You never know. You never know.
Christopher Morel just signed a 1-year deal with the Marlins.
Yeah, who cares?
It's one of those. It is one of those.
You know what I say about that? God bless him. It happens. God bless him. Frank Quote says, honestly, guys, the way the Yankees look now, they are not going to the playoffs next year. That's it. I don't want to hear anymore. They ain't going nowhere, damn it, is what he said. Guys, I'm going to play one more voicemail for you guys. Then we're going to get ready to wrap it up. I'm telling you, man, we still have like 12 voicemails left, but I ain't seeing here till like 3 o'clock. All right, let's get another one in here, folks.
Hey, what's happening, fellas? Rich
Yo,
here,
what's
Dave
up, brother?
Doom. Hope everybody in the chat is having a great day.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I'm telling you, this winter meetings, we were watching Cheech and Chong up in Smoke the other night, and Cheech goes, you know, it's like, it's different, but the same. And that's the Yankees leadership. This is what we got. Francis, I'd say facts with Francis, dropped it. Oh, we're going to get Cody. It's going to be a big thing. No. Yeah. It's not different, but the same. It's just the same old shit over and over. Yep. Not surprised. I think we're all getting a little numb to it, you know, which is kind of bad, but what are you going to do? As far as Jazz goes, I've been watching baseball many years, played it, you know, here and there, and, you know, I like to go with my gut. I like to go with my eyes, not so much the analytics and all these numbers and everything. And yes, Jazz is a good player. Jazz is electric. All those things that everybody says. But he also swings out of his shoes, and he is not a situational hitter. Things that we cannot have right now. We need people who are going to be situational hitters and driving runs. Anybody who disagrees with that, look at our runners in scoring position, left on base. We pretty much shot ourselves in the foot with runner on third, less than 2 outs. We annihilated ourselves this year. Got to be changed. All right, guys. Hope everybody has a great weekend. And again, man, the little one is on the way very shortly, man. That's awesome. We're very happy for you, man. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Later.
Yeah, I'll talk about Lil Manetti here in a second, but I do just want to throw one more thing out there with what he said. It's funny when you talk about all that and you just simply say, well, again, Bo Bichette is out there. And it's like, it just makes all the sense in the world, and the Yankees are not wanting to see it. But I want to go back to what Francis said, because I think it's the conversation and the statement of the offseason so far. Is the Yankees kind of waiting and waiting and waiting, and then when they get Bellinger, wow, look what we did! Everybody's high. We got Cody.
Yep.
And what to add to what Richie was saying there, Day of Doom. Well, there's kind of more of the same. No, it's not going to be. You know why? You know what Brian Cashman's going to say? Hey, we did want pitching, but there was no Garrett Coles out there. There was no Garrett Coles available. What? There was no Garrett Coles. Garrett Cole wasn't available out there. So yeah, man. I mean, look, at the end of the day, there was nobody like Garrett Cole available. We're getting him back this year and healthy. There's nobody like that out there. That's something we didn't have last year. So now with the team we had last year, and we'll have some, we got Ahmed for the whole year potentially if they sign him, and we got that platoon set up, and, we got this and that, and Garrett coming back. Come on. This is a 94-win team last year, folks, and now that's without Garrett Cole. What are you talking about? That's what the conversation will be.
And they would probably go out there and win less than 94 games, because that's just what happens with the New York Yankees.
Well, think about it, right? You got to have everybody have the same year, if not better.
And that's my thing, and that's kind of where I do agree with what the sentiment is from a lot of the insiders in MLB right now, that there's just no way that the New York Yankees in their heart of hearts believe that their best course of action is to run it back with the exact same offense from last year and hope that everybody replicates what they were able to do in 2025 and go from there. There's just no way that they believe that, because they know too much baseball to believe that. They know that there will be regressions. They know that there will be injuries. They know that some guys will get figured out. They know that for one reason or the other, it's not going to be the same. Some guys may be better. That's true. Who knows? Ben Rice could take another step and be even better in 2025.
Yeah, very possible.
Jazz Chisholm could have a down year.
Or throughout his career, I hate saying it, he's dealt with injury issues.
Exactly.
So you never know what you're going to get from there. And I think that's our only beef. And again, if we were coming on here doing like what Brian Cashman says Yankee fans do, right? We're expected to get everybody. We've never said that here. Hell, we've never sat out there and said the Yankees, you know what they really should do? They should go out there, trade for Skubal, sign Tucker, and sign Bo Bichette, and go about business that way. Now, we've never even said that. Now, of course, if the Yankees did that, that would be amazing. But at the end of the day, we're literally offering solutions to what the Yankees are saying is the problem. And that's all we're doing. Nobody here has been... I could sit here and tell you the truth. I don't think there's anything that has been said here by the majority of the fan base that I see, by us here on MOYU, that you can look at and go, come on, guys, that's insane. Like, that is so unrealistic. It's stupid. You know it's not going to happen. The stupidest thing that I've done is suggesting they should get Bo Bichette, because we know it's not going to happen. That's legitimately but does it make sense? Yes. And nobody would deny that. But the reason it's so stupid is because we don't have any belief that the Yankees are doing. That's where it becomes dumb. Because Pete, your Yankees aren't going to do it. And that's the stupidest thing that I've done all offseason, because they're not wrong. And if they prove me wrong on that, I'll be happy. I'll be happy as a pig in shit. But let's be honest. Come on, man. The Yankees aren't doing that shit.
I saw people out there after Pete Alonso inked his deal with Baltimore saying, it's interesting. Right-handed guy, tons of power, improved at first base over the last couple of years. Interesting, the Yankees weren't even slightly interested.
Christian was begging for it.
And it's like, yeah, buddy, I mean, does that shock me? No. But I don't disagree with any of those sentiments. I believe that Pete Alonso would make for a great fit in the lineup. Pete Alonso, look, whether we want to say this or not, if you sign Pete Alonso, it makes a conversation surrounding Ben Rice a lot more realistic if that was a possibility. Say they're the ones that would have signed Pete Alonso this week. Now you're looking at it and saying, well, then what do they do with Ben Rice? Because they can't DH Ben Rice the whole year. Stanton is still here, albeit for 2 more years, but he is still here. And you're not going to stunt this kid's growth for 2 years and destroy his value, not with the year that he put up last year. Is it time to have a conversation and see what we can get? Because teams are calling, and Cashman has admitted that teams are very interested in Ben Rice.
He'd be a top dog available.
That would have been a very interesting conversation. And in that situation, the Yankees hold all the cards because they can sit back and say, look, we don't have to trade Ben Rice. We can keep him. We can find at bats for him. We can start him at catcher. We can start him at DH. We'll find at bats for him if we have to. This would have been a situation where the Yankees held all the cards and could have sat there and literally had their pick of the litter in terms of a deal centered on Ben Rice. But no, they weren't interested in Pete Alonso at all, and it's okay. I'm not going to vilify them for not going after a Pete Alonso when you do already have Ben Rice in the fold. It's just one of those things where, as Pete's been saying, when you hear comments that say we're very right-handed, we're very left-handed, we need to get some right-handed balance in this lineup, but the response and the it seems like you're leaning towards platoons versus everyday players to fill that. It just doesn't seem like that. That doesn't seem like World Series moves. It doesn't seem like an organization that has a World Series agenda. And I think that's where me, as a Yankees fan, that's my gripe with them thus far the offseason. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what the team looks like on opening day yet. We have zero idea. But as of right now, I can only comment on what has happened. And so far, what has happened has led me to believe that the New York Yankees don't have a World Series agenda in 2026. And that just is what it is. And when I say World Series agenda, I'm not saying winning the World Series. I think the only team that could say right now, 2 teams that could say right now, no, we are approaching this with the agenda of winning the World Series in 2026 are the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays.
Outside of that just tasted going to the World Series.
Exactly. Outside of that, I don't see anybody that's done that. I see Baltimore has said, no, we're taking steps to bounce back in 2026. We're not going to have a repeat of 2025. Yeah. We're going to be a lot better. I see Boston saying we're going to put our name in the freaking hat. Like, we're not trying to be a freaking last wild card team or whatever. No, we're going to be a playoff team and we're going to wreak some havoc. And hey, if we get far, we just might make that run. I see that from what I see from the Yankees is maybe we run it back. Maybe we get lucky here. Maybe we don't.
You know what's crazy about the whole Pete Alonso thing? Because I'm going to be the first one to admit it. I didn't really care about Alonso potentially coming to the Yankees. I know Christian was talking about he doesn't understand why there's not interest. That I understand. I agree with that part. Why would there not be interest at all? The interesting thing, he got 5 years, $155 million is what he got from the Baltimore Orioles. You don't think the Yankees could have offered him less and he might have been very interested of saying, I'm just going to switch. I'll come right to New York. I mean, look, Baltimore's offering me 155. Could the Yankees got away maybe with a pretty decent 3-year offer, a 4-year offer, a 3-year and an option, or a 4-year and an option? Could they have done that and probably paid even less? I hate saying that, would it be in the Yankees? But I think if you're Pete Alonso and you're already comfortable to New York and you know New York, and the idea of going from the Mets to the Yankees and having that fan base already, they know you, and you're throwing on pitch, I think there would have been legitimate interest there. And like Francis said, Brian Cashman's the one who said challenge trades, right? He's the one who said that. Well, guess what? I'm not advocating for Ben Rice to be moved, but that's a challenge trade.
That's exactly what that is.
100%. Ben Rice is one of those deals was like, damn, but what do we get back? We can, this is why I love what we do, because I could literally go live talking about this now for another hour, because it opens up a whole nother segment of possibilities. We don't know the names that are available, but how many teams would deal players that they weren't thinking about dealing because Ben Rice could be entered into their lineup? In the age of analytics, by the way, in the age of analytics, when you look at Ben Rice, he is an analytics person's dream come true. He's like, wow, this dude stings of baseball. He's going to be great. He's going to be great. He is going to be unbelievable, this guy. How many teams can you maybe entice for a young shortstop? For a good pitcher that's cost control for years to come, would the Nationals see it as maybe for Abrams? Makes sense. Fits a hole for both clubs. I'm just saying, Neto.
Or if you're talking dealing Ben Rice and his no money making amazing exit velocity bat,
some of the best in the league,
bat,
some of the best in baseball.
Right now, all of a sudden things that to me seem like fever dreams and pipe dreams and nowhere near a possibility. All of a sudden, I'm willing to entertain it. Right now, I don't necessarily see any way, shape, or form where the Yankees entertain the possibility of trading for Fernando Tatis Jr. But if you did sign a Pete Alonso and had a Ben Rice available, now you're talking about being able to possibly pair Ben Rice with like a Cam Schlittler. You can't tell me that doesn't get the conversation started in San Diego. That more than gets the conversation started.
And Francis, here's the crazy thing. You just obliterated your goals in the offseason. And can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
There is not one Yankee fan complaining that both of those guys are gone.
Even if Belly doesn't come back, because Belly, if you do that, Bellinger does not come back
because your
outfield is
obviously
set.
Tatis could play left field. There'd be no problem with him doing that.
Exactly.
So exactly.
You'd be in left.
I mean,
you got Trent in center. Judge would be in right. Alonso would be at first base. Jazz would still be at second. Yep. You're still gonna run Volpe out there at shortstop when he gets back. Hell, you probably keep McMahon. Maybe you try to trade McMahon still to get a little bit of financial relief, bringing in Tatis's money and signing Pete Alonso. That's fine. If you traded McMahon even in a salary dump and ran out Ahmed Rosario to start the year, or but him and Caballero on the left side to start the season, I don't even know that I'm angry at that. You're talking about a lineup that features Judge, Tatis, and Pete Alonso with Ben Rice. I mean, Ben Rice is gone now. And with Jazz Chisholm as the left-handed guy to counter that. Austin Wells is still there. Trent Grisham is still there. That's a ridiculous lineup. It's very different. It's a very different look from last year. I'm telling you, Toronto's pitching as good as it's gotten. They don't want to see that lineup. You don't want to see three right-handers with the names Aaron Judge, Tatis, and Pete Alonso. That's ridiculous. They don't want to see that shit.
No, nobody wants to see that. It's a way better club, and that's what we're talking about here. There is, for people out there making excuses for the Yankees, there are a million different options and ways the Yankees could have gone about all of this. I guarantee you the Yankees could have got Pete Alonso at less than 5 years, $155 million. I'd put money on that. I guarantee it. I really do believe that. And again, I would never advocating for that, so I'm not going to start now and, they should have did this. No, I'm not going to say that because I didn't say it before. But when you look at all the scenarios and the options that the Yankees have had, there's a ton of them. There's a ton of them. And Francis is right. Maybe a team like the Padres are sitting back saying, we don't really want to deal Tatis. Maybe you can move some of these other guys. But if you call up and go, hey, look, man, we just made this deal with this as a possibility. Rice is available. We're very, very open to making a lot of moves and all that. Let's go about doing that. Breeze, CJ Abrams was just a possibility. Nobody, I'm not saying you do him for Ben Rice straight up. This guy's, oh my God, it's such a terrible idea.
No,
we're literally running scenarios here.
It was the start. It was the start of a deal.
It's the start of a deal. It's scenarios. And guess what, my friend? CJ Abrams, if you don't have use for Ben Rice anymore, makes the Yankees a whole lot better. Makes them a whole lot better. So again, as I tell people a lot, before you step to the big leagues, make sure you know what the fuck you're talking about. Because you're making yourself sound like a fool. Oh my God, how can he suggest something like that? Come on, Pete. How dare you suggest that? Oh God. Come on, brother. We're literally, first of all, we're talking about if the Yankees signed a guy who's now signed with another team.
Exactly. So none of this is going to happen. And for what I said in regards to the Tatis stuff, that would just get the conversation started. I think that's why I was like, it's a conversation starter right now. Right. The reason that I don't entertain the idea of Tatis is because I don't know how Brian Cashman even starts the conversation. I'm sorry, Spencer Jones.
You can't right now. No,
Spencer
Jason
Jones.
Dominguez, they didn't even use him. They don't want to play him.
Spencer Jones doesn't start that. If I'm AJ Preller, he doesn't start that conversation for me. I'm sorry. He doesn't. You want to call up San Diego right now and say, yeah, we can talk Spencer Jones and Jason Dominguez. They're gonna laugh at you. You can be like, Brian. He's gonna be like, Brian, come on. What are we? Come on, really?
Francis, to this day, right now, that conversation starts with Cam and Ben Rice. That's
what I'm saying. Right now, right now, that conversation has to begin with Cam Schlittler and Ben Rice. And the only way as the Yankees you could ever have entertained that is if you already had the response of either of those guys. And preferably the response for Ben Rice over the response for Cam Schlittler. Because you could make the argument that, well, you know, the Yankees, they got Max Fried, they got Rodon, Cole's coming back, they got Louis Hill, you could say, which could they withstand more, losing Schlittler or losing Rice? They'd probably be able to withstand losing Schlittler a lot more. That's why I say a deal like Alonso would have opened that up. But as of today, you can't call and offer Ben Rice and Cam Schlittler to that,
No,
not
with
knowing what the hell you
have.
have. You can't do that.
Exactly.
But that doesn't get the deal done. AJ probably is going to come back and say, great start. But he's also going to say, what about the ERC? They're going to want a bunch of shit thrown in there.
Yep.
You're talking about what, like a 5-for-1, 6-for-1? I mean, it's going to be
a ton because people got to remember it's not the Soto deal. Soto was the 1 year and that's it. You know, and everybody knew, well, when you get this guy, you're going to have to sign him to a massive contract.
This guy's yours.
Tatis is locked in. He's yours. He's locked in. It's a very good contract.
I was going to say, he's locked in at a deal that looks like a bargain now.
Yes, it's a very, very good deal. Frank Quotez says if the Yankees were willing to give Soto $760 million, where is that money? That is so desperately needed right now, Hal. Well, the money went to, some of it went to
Max Fried,
of course, when they did that. But even remember, even after all that happened, they also went after, there was the Yamamoto conversation also on top of that. So there was a lot going on there when it came to, throwing the money around. I think it's just obvious. Maybe the Yankees don't value some of these free agents the way we do, but apparently they value Cody Bellinger, which again, not a knock on Cody, but it's just kind of surprising. But
my issue also, I'm glad you brought that up because people, whenever we talk about the Soto offer and stuff like that, they're always like, well, you know, it's about AAV and obviously they spent the money on Max Fried or whatever. They spent money on Max Fried.
They paid him $14 million.
They didn't spend the
top of that
money on Max Fried. You understand? They offered Juan Soto $760 million. Max Fried signed for $218. There's still over $540 million.
Hold on, I'm sorry to cut you off. Breeze, Jira, get this idiot the fuck out of here. Get him out of here, please. Kick this moron out of here. Pete, don't act like you're some GM. When did I ever say I'm some great general manager? When did I ever say that I'm some great GM? Get him out of here, please. Kick this moron out of here. Go ahead, I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, when we bring up the offer to Soto, we're bringing up, like, look, this was a team that a year ago was gung-ho about offering $760+ million to a guy. And then now a year later, you hear that every offer they're putting out there is very underwhelming. That's the only thing that raises questions. Yes, we know they signed Max Fried for $218 million and that his AAV affects the overall luxury tax payroll. That's understood. Okay, we're not dumb. We can do math. We understand that. What we're saying is, if that offer was on the table, there's $540+ million of that still means that you were comfortable spending that amount last year. What happened between last year and this year that all of a sudden you're like, I don't know? Because I'm not saying that they were supposed to spend $760 million on 2 and 3 guys this year. All I'm saying is, okay, you were willing to offer 760 for one guy last year. You spent 218 of that. Why does it seem so far-fetched this year to look at you guys and say, you guys can't add $500 million in contracts?
Right. Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
We know that the AAV of those contracts puts them well over the luxury tax, puts them into the 320s, maybe 330s or whatever. But we say all that with an understanding that we're talking about the New York Yankees.
Correct. And on top of that, even if they bring Bellinger, they're increasing that a ton.
Yes, they're already at 280, 289 or some shit.
And that's always been our problem, is that you're going to do that. If that is your plan of doing that, why wouldn't you just go out there and get the better player of the two?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just go out there and pay the extra of what it is to that? And, they'll tell you, well, you guys don't know our expenses. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't know your expenses, but what I do know is a deal was just announced a couple days ago. You guys got the food and beverage deal for the brand new state-of-the-art soccer stadium that's being opened up across the street from Citi Field for NYCFC, a team that you also have a owner's stake in. So you're getting money from that. You're getting money from the food and beverage at that stadium. You're getting money from the soccer team you own. You're getting ridiculous money from the Yankees. And I mean, bro, it's fine. Don't open your books. I don't have any desire to sit there and comb through the textbooks for the New York Yankees financials and the financials of Legends Global and the ownership group and all that stuff. I don't have any desire to do that. All I'm saying is this stuff is public information, just how many things that the Yankees are invested into, are part owners of, get residuals from and stuff like that. So for you to get there and speak to us about $100 million bill that you have to pay to New York State every year, when we know for a fact you are doing way more than that in revenue, it's just, it's a little disrespectful to, that's all I'm saying. It's just a little disrespectful to us. And if you want us to understand you a little better, you're going to have to do better than you pay $100 million to the New York State every year. I'm sorry. I'm not accepting. I'm not dumb. You got to do better than that. You got to add a little bit more. Tell us a little bit more. You don't got to give us everything, but maybe there's some other stuff. Listen, Pete, for all we know, there is some other stuff going on with the financial, but we don't know. As far as we're concerned, we don't see that. We don't know that. And you're not telling us. You're not telling us.
But again, we
got to go by what we know.
It is announced what their revenue is. I mean, that's the problem.
That's what I'm saying, bro. But
that's the problem.
That's all we have.
You guys are continuing to make more and more money every single year, and we do know that the New York Yankee fans are the New York Yankee fans, and if you put a winner on that field and you put good players on that team, they're going to come out and support like nobody's business. And look, I know Fernando Tatis is a trade. I get that, but I talked about it the other day. Bo Bichette coming to the Yankees. First of all, the guy, he's a marketable guy. He's been clutch throughout his career. The guy got, I think it's like a 332 career average at runners in scoring position. Fans would love this guy. I mean, you would make a shit ton of money just off merchandise alone from a guy like a Bo Bichette.
He's Dante Bichette's kid on top of that.
And there's always that type of connection there and ways you can market him and build around him. And it's just sad that we're in an age here where we got to go ahead and make up excuses for the Yankees. It's sad that we have to make excuses for the Yankees. And that's where we are, is that we actually have to sit here and talk about this stuff and go, oh my God, we got to figure things out here. Oh my God, the Yankees can't do that, guys. You got fans out there, right, that are buying into this. You got fans out there that have legitimately bought into, but guys, they can't do that. Come on now. Stop it, man. As Scotty Wright, who's been killing it with Bo Bichette stats the whole time, said 310 in his career with 2 outs, runners in scoring position. And the Yankees are like, yeah, nah, we good. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap up. Man, we almost did a 2-hour All Rise episode. Lord have mercy. I got packages I'm supposed to be signing here in a few minutes that are supposed to be coming here. So, guys, Lil Manetti. Again, yeah, folks, we'll keep you guys updated on that. Everything is going good. Jira's doing well. Yeah, man, Lil Manetti's on his way. Probably, hopefully by the end of the year, if not very early January. So we're down to the final days now of getting that little man here. Aguilas. No Licey. Yankees need to sell the team. Francis, you want to end on anything with that? Okay.
Licey campeón como siempre, man. I'm sorry. Hey, I saw somebody saying you got to change
Francis. He likes
Francis
him always, damn it. He loves this team.
To an Águilas fan, it's not going to happen. So my family's from Puerto Plata, man. Somos liceíta hasta el final. Hey, it is what it is.
You know what it is.
Shouts out to the comadre. What is it? Tell me.
You know what it is? They heard Simon talking about converting. They said, I'm going to convert Francis.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. They heard Simon
people
excited.
excited.
This thing. He started this thing and forget about it. That's exactly what happened. So,
he got
guys,
people hyped.
have an amazing rest of your day. Any breaking news, we'll be here for you guys. Don't worry about that. Again, set it on your calendar. Thursday, NYYST. Make sure you tune in. Big announcement. Peace out, guys. Great rest of your day. Catch you guys next time. Peace, baby.
Then watch me do it again. Tell them I can't take no loss. My team hold no L's, no. Aiming for the top, can't make it by myself. I ain't taking no